Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, we're going to start this week with a bit of a double treat. It should be a treat for you, I hope, because it's not half a bad map. In fact, I'm quite confident, quietly confident, that some of you are going to use this for your next city build. For me, it was a treat as well because there's actually just about enough things wrong with the map for it to be quite interesting to explore and to talk about. And, well, you know how I like exploring and talking about things. So anyway, if you're happy and I'm happy, there's just one last little thing to do. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, very quietly, it's time for your daily reminder. That's right, hitting the like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day, so thanks for your support. Today's map is New Hope by Skignovilous. New Hope, I'm sure, is going to lead to a lot of Star Wars related comments. Feel free to drop in as many Star Wars puns as you like. Let's have a look at the start square. Now there's no intersection there, just a little bit of highway. You're going to have to build your own ramps to get started. And then off to the terrain map, which is quite flat. It is actually pleasantly buildably flat, and that's a good thing in most people's books. There's your resources, splodges here and there, a big splosh of oil just in the river mouth. Okie dokie. Off to the workshop. It's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. We have 4 custom bridges. We'll be using a no catenary pack, a generic tree pack, the Stray Cats theme homecoming, and the realistic 1.2 LUT, even though it does say in the description temperate vanilla LUT, and that is my mistake for the week. I'm going to try to make no more if I can. Right, let's have a little fly through the environment. As you see, it is very flat. Now, today's creator, Skignovilous, we have done 6 times in the past. Not once, but 6 times. Episodes 141, 180, 407, 432, 446 and 498. And they average around about 11 stars. That gives you an idea of the standards we can expect. Now, we've got a little bit of a jinky with the highway here. Now, this highway, if we started separating it out a little bit further back, I'm going to use move it here just to budge the nodes. Still not perfect, but that's just a quick job for you. I think that's it. And we've still got a little bit of a jink right at the very end here where it merges in. But I still think that's just a little job that could be easily done to tidy that up. Liking the merging here, even though it's 5 lanes into 3, it looks like it would actually work in real life. So I'm happy with that. And little flyover there is relatively low as well. 2 lanes on one side, 1 on the other. And I still think that that would work. So that's pretty cool. Then down here, we've got a little bit of a bowing of the road on the left there. Could do straightening that out. We've got 3 lanes going into 3, the merge lanes going on here, which is always good to see. 3 lanes going into 3 over there as well with the bowing. But I'd like to see these little bits of 3-lane highway a little bit longer, just to give cars a little bit more time to actually get into the lane that they want to. But it's not too bad. It's nothing really to moan about. It's just a preference where, yeah, you could be talking about maybe a 1/10 of a star sort of difference on little things like that. Now, we're going this way. It's a slightly longer distance, but it enables us to travel over I think all of the custom bridges, I think, today. And we'll be able to just take in a few of the more slightly unusual errors as well on today's map. Like, here's the first custom bridge. Now, this, of all the custom bridges today, this is the best one for me. First of all, it looks really great. That's a pucker bridge, that one. The detailing around the base of it looks amazing. Where the pillars are just works nicely, and the ramps coming off aren't too bad either. I mean, maybe this one's been drawn out a little bit more than it could have been, but honestly, there's nothing there to moan about, so we can skip past that one. That for me is a bridge high point. Now, coming up in a moment will be our next intersection. Now, this one, I think Skig got a little bit distracted. Okay, there are bits about it where you go, no, that's all right, what are you talking about, BonBon? But there are bits about it where you go, hang on a minute. But didn't he do something different earlier? Like here, we've got a little bit of terrain elevation errors with the road heights. I'm going to level a few of these out. I know there is a level height button with Move It, but I didn't realise that all of them were wrong when I started moving them. So that one, then go, oh, hang on, we've got one over there that's not right either. And then I thought, we're done here. And then when I came back over this side, I noticed that this one was out of alignment as well. So yeah, the entire little bit of land could have been flattened out before building the road, and that would have solved that little problem. Again, I don't mind the 3 lanes splitting into basically 4 lanes there. That is fine. That looks pretty cool. And then got the crossover here, and over here we've got single lane highways merging in and out, so that's all quite tidy too. The bridge is a good height, there's no clipping going on, no pillars in the roads. And then something really odd, okay? Bear in mind what we've just seen a minute ago. We've got 2 lanes merging into 3 and then dropping down into 2 again. What's this 3rd lane for? I mean, merge lanes, yes, when you're going 3 into 3, but 2 into 3, and they are just, oh, it's just jankily done, isn't it? Let me just tidy this up a little bit. Once again, this is a quick job. I'd be spending a lot more time doing it if I was doing it for real. I'm going to downgrade that highway from a 3 to a 2, and there. That looks, well, it still looks dreadful, but you get my gist, don't you? That is more what we could have been working with. We've got to move that node across a little bit as well. And yeah, so this one is a little bit better. It's a little bit better. It's not great. But yes, it's almost like Skig, the phone was ringing and Skig went, oh, I better go and get that. When he came back, forgot that he was still working on that intersection and never quite finished it. It's not a huge problem. It's well away from the start square. Nice little perfect bridge going on here. Oh, I say perfect. We're missing a pillar. I think that pillar is because of the rail line, but I still feel that we probably do with the pillar in that area somewhere. Otherwise, it's a long old span without it. Then we've got 2 lanes going up to 3 lanes, and that's staggered, and I quite like the idea of staggering those. I think it's something that I might end up doing myself in my next map, which I am currently thinking about. I'm not planning, I'm thinking about at the moment. Next bridge, some things about this I like. I like the elevation of the terrain here to get the road started, and then we are going proper elevated, and then we've got custom bridge. Now, there's not too much wrong with this. I just feel that it looks a little bit isolated. It's almost like the span is too big for it. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be a good job, but we could do with pillars right... Oh, hello, it's clipped out. We could do with pillars there of some description. I'm going to do a bad job of it. There we go. One bad job. But something like that, maybe with some larger, wider pillars or something. It just doesn't quite look right. It looks hovered awkwardly in the middle of the river, that central section. But all told, I like it. Oh, this is a transition tree. Have you ever seen a transition tree? Yes, a transitions tree, one that we zoom into while things pop in the background, and there is our thing in the background. Now, I saw this on the workshop and I thought, wow. Now that I've got it, I think slightly less wow. If you look up here, we've got, it's the Power MahaNakhon by Yang Mi. You can actually see through it. We kind of got the blue mantle effect on the underside of one of those 2 unusual ridges. And the base, well, the base is flickering. And I've never seen this before. It's like an old movie, isn't it? Throwback Thursdays, anybody? Yeah, it's like an old movie. Now, I thought, oh, this is going to be easily fixed. All we've got to do is get Surface Painter. If we come in close enough, it stops. That's weird. And so, yes, Surface Painter under that will fix that, I thought to myself. So we grab Surface Painter and bigger brush and boom. And then we've done after that. And then when it starts flickering, no, it's a different color to the surface, isn't it? So I don't really know what's going on there. But despite its flaws and its flickering, I think this has got a lot of potential. So let's see more from Yang Mi if we can. Factoids, because factoids. More than 13,000 existing towns and cities have a claim to be mentioned in the Doomsday Book. The Doomsday Book, one of those great historical records of British culture, or English culture, I guess it would be. Anyways, there we go. Power MahaNakhon by Yang Mi. A slightly flawed asset, but I think it's got a lot of potential. Look out for more from this creator. And of course, if that flickering is down to me, I will apologise right now in advance. But I did test out a couple of other assets just to see whether I had a setting wrong, and I couldn't replicate it with another asset. So yeah, I think that is possibly a flaw with that. But do let me know if you know better, because I do like to learn things. 4 into 4 is great here. Once again, get a little bit of bowing in the highway here. Let me zip that in a little bit until it pops. There we go. It popped into place. That looks better already. And we've got a little bit, in fact, we've got a lot of bits of glitching going on. Like here, we see where these two roads are merging in here, the elevated highways. We've got some real janky bits going on there as well. That said, if we come above the intersection, I don't think it's plopped, by the way, we've got it looks amazing. It just needs a little bit more time on the elevations of the highways, and I think we'll have something very special indeed going on there. Then we've got the highways heading out this way. We're not tidying every bit of highway up, by the way. There's no point. Once I've shown you once or twice, of course, it's everybody's first show, so you may go, well, you showed us this last week, BonBon. I'm like, yeah, I did. But think of everybody who's watching the show for the first time and has hopefully learnt something new today, which would be, don't watch any more of this show. What's going on? I thought you'd be building something. What? Anyway, so back to the highways. Gone down to 2 lanes there very early. 3 lanes to 2 lanes there just as we reach the bridge itself. And we've got another custom bridge. This is another stunning custom bridge. I think it's not quite centered. It just looks to me a little bit slightly to the right. Let me pull over here and let me have a look here. So the space between the pillar and the actual main bridge section there. We could have a pillar maybe about here, possibly. Just thinking aloud. Then over here we've got a bigger gap, so that that pillar, that's about the same distance. But then you've got a pillar somewhat in the water, so it's just kind of like off center. That said, is that wrong? No, it's not wrong. It's just anything that distracts the eye can just distract away from the map as a whole. And this is a guy who deliberately, put a distracting intersection on his last map, St. Catherine's Point. So yeah, I know, mind you, I kind of did it on purpose for like a talking point and to create something that was just a little bit different. I should have just plopped something down, shouldn't I? Anyway, yes, we'll be coming back to St. Catherine's Point and Duvo, my city build on there in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. I've now fixed the save. Oh, by the way, let's have a look at the tunnel. Tunnel is beautiful. The rail on this is actually pretty nice, full stop, especially with the custom asset that we're using. It emerges over here. So yes, Duvo will be coming back fairly soon. And one of the first things I'm going to be doing is that intersection that I've just mentioned. I'm actually going to remove it and build something a little bit more contemporary, because I think it will fit much better with the Anglo-Franco build that I'm doing on that particular map. So yes, I'm looking forward to doing that one. So yeah, probably Friday week, maybe Friday week, 2 weeks Friday, we'll be back up and running with a working Duvo. I've even fixed the stone circle as well. You know, we had all the prop snapping issues. Finally got around to fixing that. Junction there looks pretty good to me. Back down here, off towards the fog, which means it's going to be time for the intermission. Sit back, relax, and I'll see you in 20 seconds.
Have you never quite worked out how to use Ploppable Rico? And what the heck is Ploppable Rico anyway? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Ploppable Rico by BonBonB. Click the information button below.
Okay, back to New Hope by Skignovilous, and we've got shipping routes, and I've got no major grumbles really with shipping routes. We've got this one that winds its way across here, goes across the top of the tunnel, the underwater tunnel there, and then under the bridge. Now look at the bridge. It's a little low looking, isn't it? We'll be checking that out with a cruiser by the end of today's show, I promise you, just to check to see if it's good. Water flow down to the start square. You'll see we've got lots of water flow in all these nooks and crannies, which is great. Just something to watch out for though. The nooks and crannies, where the water flow starts from, it's there. So everything to the right of there is not going to escape out to sea. So if you pump sewage into the ends of these nooks and crannies, it might just get heavily polluted. Just bear that in mind before you actually start building. Okay, let's have a quick look. This is start square. Now the start square, you've got the highways really close together, and then there's no intersection to get you started. This is your start build area, which means you're going to need either Move It or Fine Road Anarchy or some other form of anarchy to be able to build your custom made highway into the intersection into there to get yourself started. So just bear that in mind. If you're a vanilla player, it might not be suited for you. Then we've got some jiggy jagged coastline here. Not a huge problem, just looks like it needs smoothing out a little bit. And I've got to be honest, I came down to the coast looking for sandy beaches because I suspected we would see sandy beaches. I mean, who could resist with this amount of beachfront? But no sand. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Look what we've got here. It's a cruiser. It's heading towards our bridge. There, what's the betting? Is it going to? Isn't it going to? Let's take your bets. Always going to be close. It's going to be very, very close. Ooh, do you know what? That's very close. But it made it safely underneath. So well done, Skig. Well done doing the measuring there. We've got a bit of land over here to build on. There's lots of land to build all over the place. I've got to say though, the one thing that I'm sort of impressed and unimpressed by at the same time are the trees. Look at the trees, like over here, big old mass of trees there, big old mass of trees around the old waterfront, and got empty-ish areas in between, playing mostly vanilla as well. And the trees kind of don't do anything and yet do everything at the same time. Now, if this was me, these areas here, the spaces between the single trees in this plane, I would be sort of like, I feel awkward about it. I'd want more or less or to do something with it. But Skig has just proved that you don't need to fill every little bit of space with something interesting. Just some random dusting of trees, and it does kind of hold up. And I need to remember that for next time I build a map. Yes, we've got, we're looking around here for, yeah, you've got lots of waterfronts going on there. Oh, we've not looked at the rail bridge. Now, the rail bridge, probably the biggest downer on the whole map, I'm afraid here. If you look over here, we've got a little bit of glitching through the rails on here, and it's a bit worse on the opposite end. Let me show you the opposite end there. So anyway, what do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. And as for last month's top 10, we're looking at Friday. Friday, the new Viewers' Choice Top 10 for August. Keep your settings set and your alarm set and everything. You know what I mean. Okay, all told, this map, aesthetically, it's kind of plain, but it's nice. For me, it holds just a little bit more interest than the 3-star map, and it gets the 4th star. Detailing. All told, there are a few things I need fixing, but it's not bad. And so because of that, I can give it a very solid to medium high 3 stars. Gameplay potential, I think this has got a load of playability, and if it had slightly fewer errors, just a few fewer errors, I would give this 5 stars for gameplay. As it stands, I'd give it a very high 4 stars for gameplay potential. So New Hope by Skignovilous. Skig, 6 maps, and he's never achieved the BonBonB seal of approval. But despite only 11 stars this time, I feel I can actually give it. I'm feeling this map, you know? I'm feeling it. Just needs a little bit more polish on the detailing, and you know what? That is a blinking good map. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing, for joining me for another map in the What Map series. Guess what? Tomorrow, we've got another map in the What Map series. I'm not going to promise it's a good one, because honestly, it's there for entertainment purposes only. Do join me for that one. You are going to, yes, you might need to sit down tomorrow. Anyway, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow, and see you tonight for Flowscape. Don't miss it.